Only gonna do a quick deck intro. We're gonna run back 75 of 75 from yesterday or today or today, I guess. Either way, welcome Twitch and YouTube. This is the second of 3 Eternal Weekend online events for Vintage in 2020. We're playing an Eternal Weekend Library of Alexandria. We had a very reasonable Eternal Weekend Tolarian Academy where we played Esper PO, and I don't see any reason to change that now. This is going to be the same 75 as this morning. Yeah, this morning. It went pretty well. A lot of the flex slots did some really powerful things. Both Sphinx and Cambal looked very, very good. Didn't see that much Remora, so we're not sure on that one, but I'm pretty happy with this deck, and I'm definitely down to play it again. If you want to hear a little bit more about card choices, if you go back and watch the playlist on my YouTube from this morning, I talk about them a little bit. I don't think I'm going to go into huge detail here, but I think we're just going to start jamming, okay? So this is now officially the largest vintage event, online vintage event of all time. This is 391 players, surpassing this morning's event by almost 100 players. So this is the biggest vintage event, Magic Online vintage event of all time, and I'm excited to play 10 more rounds of Magic. Let's do it. All right, round 1 on the play. Keep. I don't think I've ever seen my opponent's name before. Normally, like impossible. Look up 6, 4, 8, 0, 4. Did nothing. Those are just random numbers. So let's see if they F6. If they F6, I'm down to jam. If they don't F6, am I interested in jamming a PO here for 3? Typically, you want to play around Force of Negation and Force of Vigor and Mindbreak Trap. There's some amount of it's good to jam while they have nothing in play. They don't have any spheres that they can play. They could always play a Chalice or a Sphere. Because I have an Ancestral backup, I'm kind of down to just jam here and make them have it. Oh, I might have just gotten Force of Vigor. That was been pretty bad, I think. I probably shouldn't have done this. If I was going to make this play, I should have fetched at the start. Oh, now that I fetched, I have to get Vamp. I guess I don't have to get Vamp because I have Ancestral. I don't like... Oh, man, we've already started off with a bunch of sequencing that I just don't like. I think because our follow-up is so good, I do want to just jam PO here, but I also feel like I hate my sequencing. All right. Opponent's probably dead. Sometimes they don't have it. Is this a hard cast Citadel? Why are we pausing every time? We didn't have it. I'm just going to cast a Citadel here. I guess I could technically go Yogwill, PO. I guess I can't go like Ancestral Yogwill, PO, Ancestral. I can't like do multiple things, so I think I'd rather just play a Citadel. All right, well, I missed on the Citadel, but it's not exactly a miss, as I can now force something. We're obviously very far ahead in this game, but it could go pretty badly if opponent has a really good Bazaar draw, maybe? I'm not sure. Let's see what opponent does. I don't really... Okay, it is Bazaar. I'm not super happy with how I sequenced on turn 1, but... we gotta try to refocus and get in there. See what happens. So it is just Dredge. Interesting. So that was a really risky turn 1 play from us to... We ran straight into all the pitch spells, Mindbreak Trap, Force of Will, Force of Negation, Force of Vigor, and we came out with a Citadel. So very lucky, very lucky. Let's try to regroup here. Definitely gonna just draw into this and play this. I'm gonna try to draw through this, I think. I'd like to find another blue spell before I cast Yogwill. Sweet. Let's just start by cycling this. Do I want to start with a black here, actually? Let's start with a black here. I should have held priority there. Oh, we're playing super loose today. Let's try to reel this in. All right, opponent hasn't seen enough. It's funny you should ask that, Log. I was the second highest finishing PO player in in the first tournament. All right, so I think we played that a little fast and loose. Let's try to just take a deep breath and play a little tighter in the next game. But beating Dredge in game 1 is obviously one of the powers of PO and one of the big reasons that you would play the deck. 7 to 20th place. All right, so we played against Dredge yesterday or today. God, that's going to be really weird. We played against Dredge this morning. I know we brought in Needle, Disenchant. I know we brought in Sphinx, but I found that we didn't really want Sphinx, right? Was that what we found? I have a feeling we didn't really want Sphinx. I can't remember though. We took out Hercules. Yo, I'm just gonna go look what I did. My brain power is clearly running on empty right now. Should we intro? Should we intro? This is a good time for you to know that we have a YouTube channel and all my videos go on YouTube. The Eternal Weekend 2020 Dredge Vintage Stream. All right. As well with the turn, hold their anyways on turn 1 because balance is like either very good or very bad. Some amount of keep there. Opponent will go Misstep, Repeal, Hercules, Snow-Covered Island, Remora. That makes sense, sure. That seems fine. Yo, nice emotes there, Mario. Yeah, okay, let's do that. When in doubt, look at your notes. What do we got? I mean, we want Tinker or Mentor, but we don't want this hand. Not enough power. Yeah, that's the one. Keep that. The downside of this hand is I have to keep this Delta for... I guess I don't have to keep the Delta for Academy. Maybe we just won't keep the Delta. We'll just use the Opal to make the Academy mana and play a Needle. Maybe we just pitch this Force of Will, actually. That is actually what I respond to people, though. People ask for sideboard guides all the time, and I'm like, just go watch my VODs. Like, come on now. Do I bottom Force here? It kind of seems like we do. Though I can protect a Needle if I keep my Force is the big plus side here. I mean, this Needle should be good enough to slow the opponent down, and having a Force of Will to protect it kind of makes sense to me. I would really like to draw a Moxen or a blue card, I think. We just don't really want to see like a hollow one here, which will like increase the clock by a large amount. Allergement. All right, no hollow one, no dredger either. 4 cards in hand, no dredger. That's a good sign. And we found a Moxen, so we can actually go for a PO now. How do we sequence this in the most effective way? If I go Opal, well, I'm gonna play into Mind Break Trap if I go this way. Shit. All right, well, I guess I will play around Mental Misstep instead then. I don't think the sequencing was good again. Fuck up the sequencing again. Yeah, I think I sequenced this terribly. Oh well. I'm gonna run straight into Mind Break Trap here, but I have a hard cast Force of Will, so looks like they have Force of Will, pitching negation. Why would they not just negate this? Hard cast, turn 1 hard cast Force of Will. I mean, this looks like a really good spot to be in versus Dredge. Like, if they're activating this Bazaar and they don't have Force of Vigor right now, then we're just POing next turn. Looks like they have Force of Vigor. That's pretty good. That's pretty insane. Okay, so they had Force of Vigor and Force of Will. They don't have any Dredgers. They have double Icarid. We don't have the ability to PO right now, but if we draw a Moxen, we do. They hit no Dredgers off of their first activation, but they will return a Prized Amalgam. So, all right, if we just draw a Mox, we PO for 3 here, and we're in great shape. But we already called our just draw Mox, so I don't know how many more of those we get. Mystical Tutor? Oh, I guess that's Ancestral Recall. I currently don't have the mana for Tinker. I never learned. That's fair. I don't think I learned. That's super fair. All right, so they hit a Dredger, so they probably won't return their Icarid. They'll probably use their Stinkweed Imp on their draw step, which they did, and they hit a Golgari Grave Troll. Yield until next end step. So now we get to resolve Ancestral, and then hopefully from there chain off POs. I think that's the only real option. Repeal. Because I'm currently 1 mana short on Tinker. I don't think... I'm gonna need a little help. If I can find... The Force of Vigor was pretty backbreaking. That's pretty decent, though. And by pretty decent, I mean perfect? Sometimes you draw perfect, I guess. Powerful Wizardry. So if I hit any Moxen, I get to PO after this Night's Whisper. That's probably too greedy. Another PO? We're so lucky. Holy shit, we're high rolling so high. Still think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I can actually do that one no matter what this time. We just had an absurd set of rolls there. Like we just RNG'd the shit out of them. I don't think I'm supposed to cast Brainstorm because I'm gonna draw the cards anyways. I guess I can still shuffle after. There's no reason to do this in response. Oh yeah, I do want that. I just want a time walk. Oh, this is gonna cost 3 life down to 6. 2 life down to 4. I guess it doesn't have to, cause no, I kinda wanna shuffle with demonic. Get my Yagwell. Can go to 3 here. Blue, brainstorm, land, demonic, Yagwell, pass. Tendrils is unnecessary in this deck. It's just a crutch. Probably had like lethal with double activations of Ballista Citadel, but this is just easier for me. I don't really have to think about it. Just autopilot. The Ballista Citadel kill is just like way more thinking. The mentor is just autopilot for me. All right. I guess I am actually POs in chat. That's a good way to start the tournament. 2 overs Dredge. Really powerful cards, really powerful hands. I got pretty lucky there. It's not very likely for you to chain POs from that situation, so that was definitely a high variance that went in our favor for sure. There he is. Look at those. Look at him. It was yeah. What's that like? What's the Monopoly one? Banking scheme, banking error ends in your favor. Oh, let go. Get $200. No, you're not allowed to cast a spell if you don't have the life to pay for it. However, if you have exactly enough life to pay for it, you will die. Because paying the life is part of the casting cost, so if you don't have the life to pay, you're legally not allowed to do so. Yo, half a year for Merja. I appreciate that. You're a powerful wizard as well.
I bring tribute to your overpowering wizardry.
Nice. All right, let's do this data collection fix now. Let's go over all the data and